So here's Ultron.
All right, Boger said I was allowed to watch his stuff because I don't have server access.
We have
so
Ultron. This is a new character.
I might pause as it goes.
Here, look at this, guys. So here's a
I might have to let it get a few minutes ahead.
This character has infinite range.
Wait, what? What? What?
Yeah, so I think there's some fall off. Oh, maybe not.
Where?
I know there's no fall off. So you can shoot it from as far away as you want and spam. That's a character, definitely. There's no fall off. This is how it works. Your shift, you fly in the direction, you dash, and then you move faster.
The dash and the small speed boost.
And his E, you place an orb thing, and it heals, right? Now, this character.
Wait, that's pretty
has no
quick.
Healing besides this, that is the only healing.
Wait, what?
That is it. You have.
Wait,
no
I thought the
other
left click
healing.
heals.
That's it. That's the only healing you have.
What?
So that is what I mean when I said this character is not support. It's DPS. You have no other heals. His left click doesn't heal, right? Wait, yeah. Pretty sure it doesn't heal. Let me just double check everything. Yeah, it doesn't heal. So that is the heals.
If I have to go in the VOD, I will. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I understand what they're going for, I guess, with wanting another DPS support, right? Like having something else to do, because like the only one at the moment is really like Adam and I guess sort of Mantis. But so the healing will only work in this ring. So like if everyone's together, then they get healing, but you can only have the drone on one person. So isn't this going to be another like triple support? Like you'd probably want to do like Mantis, Adam, Ultron, right? Wasn't that a major problem in Overwatch? Support doing more damage than healing? Okay, yes, but it was necessary at the time. So when Overwatch went to Overwatch 2, supports were fodder in the format. So they needed to have some more stopping power because the game was more DPS more like team deathmatchy. In Overwatch it works, right? What I wanted long term, right, is I kind of wanted to see Rivals go more in the direction of like healing supports as opposed to like DPS supports. Not that like I wanted the more like healing circles with ults, right? I want like unique ults and stuff like that. But the idea is, I feel like, especially because it's a more casually positioned game, a lot of like more casual bronze to plat support players, like they want to heal, right? Like, and they play support, they want to heal. They don't want to like, they genuinely don't like, they don't want to do a whole lot of damage. They want to just stand behind their tanks. And they want to heal their tanks. Once you get past that though, like obviously that's how you play support at like a high level, and that's what you should do to climb. But like, that's like how good players take it to the next level. Does that make sense?
Your right click. Yeah, so you just leave the orb and it just sits there. I don't think there's any range to it. So you put it on your DPS and then you go flying. Oh no, there's range. Okay.
Oh, there's a range.
I think it's like,
that's good.
How much is the range in that? Let's see.
Maybe it just goes off over time.
Far away, I think. Right. So if I just sit here,
it looks really far though.
There's no cooldown either. Around 40 meters. Okay, so around.
So about 40 meters within. That's pretty far though.
So you can't go too far away, but like you can.
I mean, realistically, if his ult's really good, you just pop this on one of your tanks and just farm, and then you just sit there and do nothing but DPS the entire game, and your healing will go up over time. And so your tanks stay together. You get multiple people healing consistently. Even though, okay, high level play, right? Listen, high level play, you put it on a support, let them flank, or sorry, a support, a DPS, let them flank. Kind of like Zen Orb in Overwatch. Most ranked games though, put it on your tanks, let them just stand next to each other. They take a bunch of damage, they get healed a bunch. And then you farm damage and you just farm your ult.
You can drop it on your Iron Man or Hela and then like go around and flank with them. Or put it on your DPS flanker. It's insane, right? So, in terms of healing, this character is not a support. It's not
the only thing that might be a saving grace in that department is like there's a pretty big gap between like the fire, like the how long it takes to fire the next left click. Like it takes a while. There's a big recoil.
He's strategist, but not healer.
Can the drone be broken? No.
For a few reasons.
I don't think so.
Right click first. Let me go to the abilities. Okay, so right click gives shields to you right? These are the ability things. You can read them, by the way.
Okay, so this is the ability thing. Rage of Ultrons is the ult. Nano Ray. Iron Man uses nanotechnology to upgrade Ultron's arsenal, enhancing his Encephalo Ray and Nano Ray. During the active phase, Ultron fires an unstoppable Nano Ray straight ahead that pierces through all characters, delivering massive damage to enemies while simultaneously restoring health to allies. Wait, so the Iron Man team up will allow you to heal people with the left click, but otherwise he doesn't do that. That's really weird. I don't know how I feel about that. Flight, yeah, we went over that. The accelerated rate, it's got a little boost. Command a giant drone to follow an ally, consistently healing allies within his radius with more healing for the designed or designated ally. And then this is the one he was talking about. Imperative Firewall. Summons drones to grant bonus health to allies within range. I can't see because there's a chatter message in there.
So you right click.
There it is. Within range centered on himself and the ally marked by Imperative Patch. Okay.
It's centered on you and the ally. So if you have an ally there and yourself, if you split,
so it gives you what, 90 shield?
The shields, you get the shields, and people around him get shields too, right?
I feel like the shield feels kind of weak, or looks kind of weak. No? What's the cooldown on it?
As you can see, he gets an ally there.
Wait, hang on. Is that a 10-second cooldown? Wait, it's a 10-second cooldown for 90 shields to everyone around you? I mean, I guess in like really grouped up fights, that's kind of nice, but I don't think Ultron's going to be like a super frontliney support.
That's the heals.
I don't think.
Shields, you get the shields,
he only has 250 HP.
Shields too, right? And then his ult.
It kind of makes sense considering he's evil. He needs someone to turn him good, and then he can heal teammates. I hadn't considered that.
Then his ult is this.
Yeah, that ult looks crazy.
It does heal. Healing is way more than the damage it does. Right? So...
What's the healing number on it?
In terms of healing, it's way better than it does DPS. So it heals quite a bit. It actually heals a lot.
Holy shit, it looks like it heals a lot.
As you can see. You can even put an orb and heal a lot, right? You can also damage with it. But
yeah, I feel like using the ult for DPS would be kind of trolly unless everyone's brawling.
So
but people will do that, though.
Out. I played some time with this character. I have a feeling with an Iron Man team up, I haven't shown you the Iron Man team up yet. If I do the Iron Man team up, look at his ult charge. That is only from 2 targets. I'm going to put an orb on somebody, and then I'm going to do this. Oh wait, fine. Bye-bye, guys. I need to restart, reset. Anyway, even though it's not the full duration, it's around 50% ult charge, right? So if I just do this again.
What?
Wait, I need to use my ult first. Wait, guys.
Wait, what?
Restart the clip. I'm gonna use my ult. I'm gonna do this thing. I don't have my cooldown yet. If I restart it again, okay. Yeah, I need to get my ult out. Listen, we're experimenting here. We're experimenting.
Okay, I've been here. I've done this. This has happened to me before. I get it.
Why am I doing this? Okay. I'm gonna waste my ult. He heals himself in the ult.
And I see what he's cooking, though. I'm a little scared.
So if you're low HP...
I get it, though.
Okay, we're gonna wait for the bot. And then I'm gonna use my C, and then I'm gonna do this. And that's from only 2 targets.
Holy shit.
If your entire team is stacked, you're gonna get your ult instantly. You get like from 2 targets because it heals your team, and then pierces damage.
So remember when we looked at the Jeff changes? The Jeff one built with 6 people standing on both ends, like half that speed.
If the enemy team is stacked up, if your team is stacked up,
well, that was with everyone stacked up on each other.
Like you can play.
His drone is his only healing, yes.
You both your tanks can play together, and you can do that. I think you get your ult quite fast with that. And I think he works really well with Iron Man because you can drone him. And then he can do his thing, right? But that's about all the healing he does. His orb, that's it, right?
So he really is just a DPS support then.
The sequel is 30 seconds.
The C looks really cool, though.
Oh, it has no range, by the way.
It has unlimited range. Oh my god. The C has unlimited
So,
range.
yeah.
So the Iron Man team up is going to be a
I
requirement.
think it's around 20 seconds actually after it's done. Oh yeah, so because the duration of the thing is 10 seconds, so it's around 20-second cooldown basically.
Holy shit. It lasts for 8 seconds, it looks like. Cooldown is 30 seconds, so 22-second cooldown. Unlimited range for the healing and damage, though. His healing drone works like Venom? I know.
On yourself.
I know. We went over it.
What do I think about Ultron? Honest guess, I don't think you ever play him with two supports. Like,
yeah,
he cannot be your second support. He is a DPS character. Like, his damage output is pretty okay. I think it's pretty good actually for support.
I think it's pretty good, yeah.
Considering the fact that you have no damage fall-off, you can peek angles and like poke quite a bit the supports.
So I am very, and I mean very curious on what the reaction is going to be from actual support players. I feel like it's going to be mixed, right? Because half are going to be super excited to have another like stopping power DPS Adam like support. And then some are going to be like, well, I wanted an actual healing support, right? And the reason why I also think it'll be split a little bit is just because you can't play this guy into support. That's going to be impossible. It has to be a triple support, which means you're going to have a triple support meta if he's actually good enough to be meta. So my early guess is Adam, Mantis, Ultron, right? Then you have the Star-Lord team up. You can throw in Iron Man, 2 flyers, 3 flyers actually, triple flyer, triple res, and then Poke's more powerful next season because all the dive characters got nerfed. So like maybe Strange Mag could be in, right? I'm very, very curious. How does it even self-heal? That's a good question. Maybe the right-click self-heals? Maybe?
And then
I don't think he does.
DPS, and that's all you have to do. And then you have your shields, which I think are kind of weak, but I might be wrong.
No, it just only gives shield.
And,
I don't think you self-heal.
Just build your ult, and then you go crazy with it.
The ult self-heals? Yeah, it does. Okay. But outside of the ult, though, can you...
I think you win that fight 100%. But you definitely play with 2 other supports. Like, you definitely play him with 2 other supports.
The drone? Maybe, yeah, if you stand near the drone.
Simple and
can the drone self-heal? Good question. Let's see if he goes over it.
Right.
Because I'm really far on the pass now.
Are gonna have a blast, right? So, I think that's about everything I can really show in this guy. I think he's very complicated. It's pretty straightforward, right? You're gonna see him being played later by ML and Necros, I think. Can you cancel fire animations?
Did you see if he can self-heal with drone? I'm 10 minutes in the past.
If you can self-heal with drone, ooh, okay. Let's see. Yep.
The drone does self-heal.
I mean, you can put it in somebody else and heal up. So you can put it on your Iron Man and heal with him. And you can just sit there. And,
W.
you can fly around.
Thank you, Boger. Oh, so, yo, big, giant shout out to Boger for letting me react to all of this. Because, I do not have server access. I've never been in their like partner program or anything, but for most of these I've had like a sponsorship, but I do think it's a little odd. They asked me like 2 weeks ago if I was going to be available on this day. They didn't say anything about it. They were like, "Are you free this day?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I can be free." And then after the Chrono Shields thing, they just kind of stopped responding. So it is what it is at that point. I have no regrets on that though, at all.
I've heard the people are angry about this one.
Oh, he shows the Jeff changes?
Yeah. This is Jeff.
Wait, isn't he supposed to be shooting so much faster? It doesn't even look that much faster.
They boop like his bubble before, right? So. That's
oh my god, he really is butchered.
Right, this is his healing.
Oh my god.
Here's his enemies.
Wait, there's some people. Wait, I read some people thought that this was gonna be good. Are you crazy?
I don't know how good this will be. You also have your bubbles that heal over time now. They are not instant heals. And your shift has a meter, right? So it has a meter, and it runs out. And when you're above ground, you do the things, right? So that's yeah.
Yeah, Jeff might be
that's
cooked.
Jeff the Land Shark. Honestly, I know a lot of people are really mad about this, but I don't think you understand that in my opinion, you're a lot. Okay, really unpopular opinion among the casuals, but any person that is high elo, high rank will agree with me. I think Jeff was one of the best solo cube characters. It was so annoyingly designed.
Yeah,
because you could just
he was kind of broken.
Ground, heal yourself, and like your hitbox was so.
I don't even think that's just like a high elo take. I think a lot of like the metal rank players hated shooting against Jeff. Like Jeff just never died. He was unkillable.
Like this character had to change. It was not a support character. It was a DPS character. And
the Hunter's thing, the prime.
Right. Like you have maybe not to the extent that they changed it, but they definitely should have changed them. And I agree with this change. Right. If it's not like strong, they did
kind of butcher him though. I kind of understand why people were upset. I get it.
Again, the previous design was horrible for the game. His E bubbles, I think he had too many bubbles before. But right now,
yeah, when he's so what he's talking about is not like a super well-known thing, but basically you could just play Jeff Captain America and you just literally perma harass support players the entire game, and there was nothing they could do about it because Jeff was unkillable and Cap was unkillable, and you would just genuinely spend the entire game just killing their supports until like you just keep hitting them until one of them misses a shot on each other or until your team kills their tanks. Like it was really, really unhealthy. But I also get like I don't think they should have
change of it not being instant.
Done that.
6 bubbles is fine because the healing over time is kind of whatever.
They went a little too hard on the bubbles, the right click, and the self healing. Like they went a little hard. Does he go over Thor? I don't think he does. Okay. I think the rest is just like the normal balance changes. He just runs through them because he's got a sponsor thing, so he's got to go through all the changes. That's how that typically works. But I saw what I wanted to see. Ultron looks really cool. I don't have any like super like, super take on it. I do think it's a little surprising how little healing he does. Like just the drone, I guess. And he just kind of is like a weird long range, strong opinion. Long range poke DPS is kind of insane. He's currently doing Thor like right now. Oh, I'm like 10 minutes in the past or 15 minutes in the past. So he does it right now. Hang on, let me do this real quick. I'll do this really quick.
Stop Orthos through woes, so you're gonna have some clips. Okay, this is Thor, guys. This is your Chungus character. So you press F. You awaken. And then you can awaken again. And do things, I guess. And then you can awaken.
And then you can E.
My bots are dead now, but you can just do it again. I don't think this is that good because of
really.
So the first reason is you're very vulnerable.
Yep.
Awaken isn't.
I feel like if you've watched the Surefour playstyle, I feel like I would disagree. I feel like it's actually good.
Ability. It's good for poking, but you're just too vulnerable, except against Hawkeyes and Hellas.
That is true. So I went over this earlier because some people were like, "Oh my god, how do you think the Thor change is good?" No, this is good. Like the only actual thing that's like worthwhile upset about is survivability because like lost like I think 100 health. But there's two things. One, when you make a big change like this, they don't want to overdo it because if you go really hard in the opposite direction and you give him a lot more pressure and a lot more killing power, you could make him super oppressive and not fun to play against and like just hard push him meta. So by taking away a lot of the survivability and also giving time for people to adjust to the new playstyle, you're also getting shields pretty consistently. Like you're gonna have shield up almost all the time now. So you're gonna be not as tanky, but you'll still be like okay. And you can always just add that back later. Like real talk, right? Like real talk for half a second. If you made it so that, let's say like these changes go through and he was too weak and he dies too quick, if you re-add the 100 health he lost, would you say that this is objectively, because he's just as tanky as he was before, it would be objectively better than what he was before, right? No? Because he'd be the same health, same survivability, right? It'd be the same thing. The only difference is you get your right click is now no longer tied to your universal cooldowns, and you get Thor Force faster. Wouldn't that be a good thing? How's that bad? The right click sucked. The right click was useless. He still can't brawl like he can now. I mean this with all due respect. Brawl Thor sucked once you got up the ladder. Like it was not great. The reason you can brawl is because you're tanky. If he still sucks, if you change these things and he dies too quick, you re-add the health. And guess what? He now has more tools in his kit. I don't know how you don't understand that. I don't get it. Right? Like the big thing that people are mad about is the health and the survivability, right? You can always just change that number back. But this is a change to his core kit. Right click is not useless. It's a combo enabler and burst damage. That is absolutely false. Every Thor player I've ever talked to that's actually good at the game always says you might as well unbind the fucking thing. You have 3 main play styles. You have the disruptor, the shift players who just constantly shift the tank into their own team. You have the Surefour playstyle, which are the flanker DPS that like go hardcore awaken form / hardcore shift in, just isolate someone and kill them. And 3 of the brawl ones. None of them use it. No one did. You don't you waste, it's a waste of a cooldown. It's an actual waste. It didn't do shit. Like, to his core kit, it's genuinely a good change. If you're upset about the survivability, just add 100 health back and he's back to exactly where he was. What? I don't get it.
But it does line up pretty well. It does line up pretty well with his cooldown, his right click, and you can get your awaken pretty fast. So I think his damage output is a lot higher, and I think he's gonna be a lot maybe better in lower elo, purely for the reason that in lower elo you can just farm people, and now you're allowed to farm infinitely, right? So but I think
true. The thing is, though, in higher elo, like the best playstyle is like the displacement playstyle. Like you just displace their tanks over and over. So if he's struggling because he's dying too quick, you just add back 100 health and you're good to go.
He still struggles from the same things. He's still gonna die to the same things.
Yeah, that is true.
It's just this character, like right now with these changes, it doesn't really fix any of his issues.
That's true.
It just makes him more
I like him though.
because he has less HP when he does the things. Emma still counters him. I don't think he's a good tank, but I might be wrong. Maybe there's some broken strats.
Yeah, cool. All right, so he went over the Thor stuff. All right, cool. So as I was saying before, I just wanted to look at Ultron and then kind of a little bit of Thor. So we got Thor, and then he went over all the other stuff too, like all the smaller changes. So you should go look at Bogers for it. I think he's gonna end up doing a video too, but he's streaming it over on Boger too. But yeah, anyways though, cool.